Pamjit Pama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to speak on the Underground Coal Mining Safety Bill on the name of Damien O'Connor. Mr. Speaker, the purpose of this bill is to, on an interim basis, bring better protection and safety for underground coal miners here in New Zealand by adopting Queensland's regulatory framework. And until we have a better process in place. Mr. Speaker, I can see that this bill is inspired by the Pike River mine tragedy. So before I get into this bill, I would like to say that my heart and thoughts goes out to Pike River miners and their families. Mr. Speaker, the whole country, yes, the whole country was mourning after those explosions. Everyone expects to return home safe after their day at work. And health and safety is critical. Health and safety at work is important. Employees and employers both know that health and safety is important. Employers know that if they have a safe workplace, their employees are happy, they feel safe, and they are more productive. There are fewer interruptions, Mr. Speaker, which leads to less cost to business, because all such interruptions, they always lead to some kind of cost. And cost aside, in serious cases, it can lead to injury or even death of workers. So, Mr. Speaker, no one can deny that workplace health and safety is important, but things get overlooked and accidents do happen. So according to the industry type, there may be sometimes some specific requirements, measures and practices that are required to be in place. And these measures and practices should be able to address physical, psychological, environmental and other health and safety issues. And in coal mining, Mr. Speaker, coal mining is a worldwide industry. And the way of mining depends on the geology of the coal deposit. So open cast mining, yes, it's economical, but the coal seam should be close to the surface. And underground coal mining is comparatively a very complex process. And it is not as simple as just adopting another country or region's regulatory framework, because it requires good understanding of local coal deposit, technical operational requirements. It requires good strategic planning. It requires good risk management, Mr. Speaker. And also we need people, those who bring a right kind of expertise, because it's a very complex and hazardous industry. And Mr. Speaker, I can see the reason for this bill, but this national government has already done a lot in that direction. And this national government has already fulfilled that commitment that national government made after that Pike River tragedy. So this was in November 2010 when this national government initiated Royal Commission of Inquiry. And then it was November 2012 when Royal Commission made its report public. And then in December 2012, this national government released its plan to implement key recommendations which were made by the Royal Commission. And for that, Mr. Speaker, the independent task force on workplace health and safety was given the task of advising government on workplace health and safety, and also on the structure and form of new independent regulator for workplace health and safety. So, Mr. Speaker, this national government has already developed an effective framework for mining, all kind of mining, not just underground coal mining. And I'd like to actually list a few things which are already done. Health and Safety Pike River Implementation Bill. This was to establish new workplace health and safety agency, that is WorkSafe New Zealand, and also to implement key recommendations of the Royal Commission. And 3 acts were created by the Health and Safety Pike River Implementation Bill: the WorkSafe New Zealand Act 2013, the Health and Safety in Employment Act 2013, and the Mines Rescue Act. So, Mr. Speaker, we can see that this national government has already fulfilled its commitment to Royal Commission's recommendations. And, Mr. Speaker, I can see the reason behind this bill, but this bill is unnecessary because this national government is already investing significantly in health and safety. We know that working safer reforms in the health and safety reform bill before the House is to reduce injuries and death toll by 25% by 2020. WorkSafe New Zealand is assessing 12,500 businesses every year, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we do not support this bill because this bill is completely unnecessary. This national government has already done a lot in that direction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.